Joining us now with stories trending around the world is Anieze Osakwe. Good morning, Annie.
Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good to see you. Good to see you all. Vimbai, Rufai.
Fiance.
Oh my. Yes. Thank you for the shout out.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
You have to wave the ring so you have to greet us like this every morning.
Yes. I'm left-handed now. Only left-handed now.
Somebody has taken her.
Yes.
Somebody's son has found you.
Yes, someone's son has found me. Correct. Thank you, Vimbai, for that.
So we are going to Gidi?
I thought you guys would.
Maybe. We'll see. Still planning. We'll see.
But so Gidi now.
We have to take you
Now that you've said it.
It's your village now.
Now that you've said it, it probably has to be there.
Okay.
Yes. So, with that being said, good morning to everyone out there. Thank you all for starting your day with us. We start what's trending today with the drama coming out of River State politics, with FCT Minister Nyesom Wike seeking to show and tell the public that even though he's the minister of the FCT, he still sees himself as a major power player in the state's politics and its future. Speaking during a thank you visit to the Oyigbo local government area, Wike openly called out APC's National Secretary, Ajibola Basiru, essentially telling him and other politicians to back off from interfering in the state's politics, or else. Let's take a look.
I say it here, Victor, I want to say it here. Take this message. Tell your National Secretary, leave River State alone. Leave River State alone. When Mr. President comes back, when I see the Minister of Blue Economy, I will tell them to tell him, go and ask other people what has happened to them before. Putting River State, carry your hand to come to River State. If your hand burns, don't say the people no more. I can challenge anybody. This state is a no-go area. This state is a no-go area. Whether you like it or
Now, responding to Wike's comments, Basiru said the minister simply does not have the authority to interfere in the affairs of the ruling party, asking him to resign from being FCT minister to face his obsession with River State politics. And I'll just take a few tweets before I come to you, Vimbai. G-Day said, I think Wike is overshooting his influence and relevance within the current APC government. He's dispensable and can be buried politically if he doesn't behave himself. He's trying hard to stand by his word never to defect to the APC. He should defect. Heavens won't fall. And then Jimmy said in another tweet, respectfully, Ajibola should face his front. The battle is between two people from the same state. He should sit down and watch without taking sides. Whoever wins is still a win, and in addition to his party. Vimbai, I mean, the insults, the threats, the calls for resignation, is this essentially the future of River State politics? How should the public and the people of River State be seeing this?
Well, I mean, in all fairness, Annie, this has always been River State politics. It's always been a very dramatic place where, unpredictable. You don't know what will happen, between various administrations. So I think maybe there's a conversation that needs to be had about the political culture that has turned River State, into a home for these types of very strongman Machiavellian politics. But having said that, Nyesom Wike had sort of celebrated his success at being able to build a rainbow coalition of sorts in River State. I believe at the same event he had the chairman of the APC and also had the chairman of the PDP for the state standing side by side, and this is what he projects as his success in the state. But the truth of the matter is that the platform he currently enjoys as a minister of FCT belongs to the APC. He is an opposition member, and even that is in contention because the PDP say that they have taken away his membership, and that's in court. So as it currently stands, Nyesom Wike before the law, is neither a member of the APC nor is he a member of the PDP. So those who are asking what is the locus that he has to make these bold proclamations and claim to have the amount of power and influence he has are very right in doing so. However, in the morning, in the beginning of the show, some of the things that we had unpacked, or rather I had unpacked, were around the fact that, well, we're going to see a lot more of these tensions brewing in all the states where we've seen governors decamping from their parties to the APC because there are struggles for party structures all around. So Nyesom Wike goes the extra mile and is extremely explosive in the way he fights for what he calls his structure. But what's going to happen to all those other governors, all those other party stalwarts who also claim that they've built and invested in their own structures and will not accept a governor who has just decamped from somewhere to come and take those structures away from them? So I think the APC convention is going to be quite an intriguing one. The argument on the table is that, well, they will all be rewarded, everybody will fall in line. Well, we'll wait and see how that plays out.
Absolutely. I think, Dr. Abati.
Well, anyway, maybe you give Wike, some credit for the capacity to keep causing trouble everywhere that he goes to. The best way to characterize River State politics is to remember the novel, the young adult novel by Professor Anieze written in 1972. 1 week, 1 trouble. That is the title of that novel. And what they do in River State is 1 week, 1 trouble. And Wike is a protagonist in ensuring that the destiny of the politics of River State and of the people is that of 1 week, 1 trouble, thus fueling uncertainty and instability. But I think that when I was talking about capacity, now people are fighting him in the People's Democratic Party, his original party. They have rejected him there. Now, leaders in the APC are also rejecting him, saying that he should go back to his PDP because he's not a member of their party. And he too is fighting back. And he says he is challenging anybody to come to River State because it is a no-go area. He's the one in charge. That anybody, does that include the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, by the way? Because if he says anybody, it's a very expansive term of expression. Because one day, he may have to warn President Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself. Maybe if things go south, he may even warn him not to come to Port Harcourt or anywhere in River State because it's a no-go area and he is in charge.
Right.
Well, that's when he will be reminded that there is no part of this country that is a no-go area for the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. Because you never know, people can just get carried away. And I think that Senator Basiru and Itilda Nentawe, the chairman of the party, there may well be others like them within the party who are objecting to Nyesom Wike and his interventions on all fronts. And then again, another funny thing, 2 things I saw today. Some people are, circulating a list of 42 persons that at one point or the other are friends with Minister Wike, and now he's fighting them too. They have become enemies. You saw my name there?
Yes, it's an analyst.
Okay. Fame at last. I've suddenly become famous. For my name to appear on Wike's list. Another thing that they are circulating about him, which we will need to address, post-it or any of his lapdogs can address that, is that his son is going to run for House of Reps, and they say the boy is being positioned. I have nothing against people encouraging their children, but, what the people are insinuating is that Wike even wants to build a dynasty. And then those people standing with him on that stage. I've not seen adults who are just, what is the technical word that I should use now? These are adults, so laughing sheepishly, clapping almost like robots. And then that band that is in the background, almost having an antiphonal responsorial relationship with them. I think we should investigate the kind of stimulants that members of that band that they consume you know, because
not the band.
the band
is doing well.
okay, you like them.
I'm very creative.
Dr. Abati.
Okay, stand up and dance properly.
You've been warned about Wike matters, so you know you have been warned.
Who warned me?
Be fair and balanced with Wike.
No, we have been fair and balanced.
Yes.
We have been fair and
Anyway,
balanced.
The band is good.
Our
is
job
decent.
is that of an analyst. But this is the only band of his type that I have seen. So that's why I say there is a certain capacity for creativity.
Yes, absolutely.
However, I think that all of this constitutes a distraction. Needless distraction. What is more important that we should be talking about is the insecurity
Exactly.
in Borno, the insecurity in Niger.
Exactly.
That is what, you know, the presidency should focus on, not the antics of politicians. We should also be worried about this extra interest that the United States has taken in Nigeria.
And it's perfect that you said that, because those are the next two stories.
So these
that
are
we
the
will talk
issues,
about.
not
Absolutely.
people dancing
Absolutely.
you
So,
like robots.
like Dr. Abati has said, from politics, let's now take a moment to look at the other major topic in the country today, which is insecurity. Because today, people in Nigeria are in mourning. They're mourning the loss of at least 9 soldiers' lives who were killed and many more injured in Borno State, according to security sources on Monday. They say that troops were ambushed when their convoy hit an unusually powerful landmine, followed by a gunfire near a place called Bindundul village. Now, that area is notorious for having a strong ISWAP presence, and a new video on social media shows the moments right after the explosion. Let's take a look. And every day, you know, we discuss the brutality and the violence being waged as members of the military work to fight back against terrorism. But it's important to take a moment to recognize that beyond the numbers, these are regular men and women with families fighting every day, putting their lives on the line to keep the country safe. And we have some images where you can see how powerful the IED was to have destroyed their convoy and surrounding areas in such a significant way. This is what they're up against. And Rufai, I'll take the next 1 or 2 stories before coming to you, because over the weekend in Maiduguri, the Nigerian military revealed that they actually found the mastermind behind a recent wave of deadly attacks in the northeast. His name is Shariff Umar, and here's what we know about him. He is the one who's responsible for recruiting, prepping, and deploying suicide bombers, for coordinating logistics, including that Christmas Eve suicide bomb at the Gamboru Market Mosque that killed 5 people. And with this, it's clear that the military is making some strides, but terrorists also seem to have an incredibly sophisticated network that are also fighting back. And finally, in a positive development yesterday, U.S. Representative Riley Moore spoke about how it's encouraging that the Nigerian government is working in collaboration with the United States to defeat terrorism. He even went on to say that the U.S. could provide more support like those strikes in Sokoto that we all saw on Christmas Day. Let's watch.
And the good news here is that the government of Nigeria is working with the United States. This strike that we had was in coordination and cooperation with the Nigerian government. So we are moving in a positive direction in all of this. I think there's going to be a strategic security framework that's going to be set up at some point here soon in between our 2 countries that is in the works, where we will be able to do some capability gap fillers for the Nigerians and their military, and then also provide the type of support like we did on Christmas with 12 Tomahawk cruise missiles, which, by the way, was the first time in 2 years you'd not had Christians massacred on Christmas. Instead, we had terrorists paying the price this Christmas.
So we've also seen reports from U.S. officials saying that the Sokoto state strikes were a one-time event, but there's still this lingering fear on the ground for residents in parts of the country that their community or their local government area could be next. So Rufai, I'll come to you on this. Just the state of insecurity, finding a terrorist bomber, the loss of lives of all of these members of Nigerian troops, the U.S. now coming to comment. How should we be seeing all of this?
Okay, Anieze, I mean, concerning our troops, I would have wanted a case that if the Nigerian army can please give us the picture and the names of these people that died so that we can paste their names and celebrate them like heroes that they are. Because they are heroes paying the supreme price with their lives for a country like Nigeria is something that should be celebrated. So I don't know, they might have contacted their family members. I know they might want to do their things in any way. But if you can get the pictures out there in the media and post it on the media and celebrate these people, because these are the true heroes of our country. But that should never happen today. But Anieze, when we're talking about the case of the insecurity, it rages on. It is so sad what is going on. The case that really hurt me the most is, even, do you know that the attack that happened in Nigeria recently, some of the Papere kids that were released, some of them were also re-kidnapped or re-abducted. So just imagine a child that is born in that area, goes to school there, 2 hit terrorism cases, kidnapped, released, re-kidnapped. And today, as we speak today, the government has not even said anything. I don't know, maybe they are going to call the terrorists and say, let's start negotiating their release. The National Security Advisor has not said anything about the people abducted in these attacks. The one that happened at the Niger market close to Papere. We've not heard anything. Maybe they respond quicker when there are students involved, because, you know, that one there's a level of international empathy that goes to that one, just like how they reacted to the other one, the KB girls. So we don't even know the state of those people. So please, we'd like to beg the NSA. It's as if they have a way at which they call these terrorists and negotiate with them. We need these people back home, the Niger people. Also, we need the people that in the church that were kidnapped in Kogi back home. We also need Reverend Archie's wife. We also need her back home. And some other people, pockets of kidnapping. You know, they are too numerous to mention, because today now, we've even run out of reporting thresholds because we've reported too much. We don't even know how to keep up with them. That's number one. Number two, as regards America saying they're excited about the collaboration, yes, collaboration is good, but it's also an indictment on us as a nation. That it is America that is helping us conduct airstrikes. It's America that is saying, oh, we are working together. We are saying, oh, yes, let them come in. Let them come. Yes, we want an end to all of this. But there's also a downside to all of this. I would have wanted for our own military, our own logistics to be the one to be able to end this level of insecurity. I would not have wanted a case where we just have things happen and America is the one coming to bomb and all of that. So this is something we should think deeply, because you see, every nation that helps you have their own interest. America's interest, yes, is the Christians that are being killed, the Christian genocide, but because there's also an equivalent Christian base in America. And that's why we should be very careful. And I would have loved to comment on the Wike issue. Real quickly. You see, in this life, let's be careful. You see, my father used to pray a prayer, Dr. Abati. And he would say, what it means is you will not be too full of yourself. And I used to ask him, why do you pray that prayer? He says, see, when somebody becomes too full of themselves, they overblow their importance. When damage comes to them, they will not know that the damage has started. And that's why when you look at this Wike matter, yes, it's important in the architecture of River States. But the question is, maybe he has done it a little bit too much. Because as we speak today, when he did it with Atiku Abubakar, he got away with it. Dr. Abati, if you remember that he prevented Atiku Abubakar, the PDP candidate, from campaigning for presidential election in River State. When all of that happened, he got away with it. He got his way in Rivers. But look at President Tinubu that he's doing it with now. President Tinubu, the master strategist in this case, has systematically played him out. I don't know how Wike will want to come out of this. The local government chairman, I think out of 23, 20 are in APC. The state of House of Assembly went to APC. The governor is APC. You are saying the structure. All President Tinubu needs to do now is all structures align and go to Fubara, and which the party is already saying. So he should be careful. I think this is time for him to now recalibrate. Maybe he will go against the might of the Jagaban. He will not dare do that, because it's harder to fight a man that is in power and knows how to use power. Like a lot of people have said, Tinubu not be Jonathan, but Dr. Abati, no offense. I'm sorry, with due respect. I beg. I beg for that word.
How did you drag mine?
I apologize for that word. But like they say, let me say it again. Tinubu no be Jonathan.
Okay. And from politics, let's now head to New York for the drama surrounding one New York City courtroom, where just yesterday the captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was defiant in addressing the judge, saying that he was kidnapped before being brought to the United States. And responding to Judge Alvin Hellerstein, who asked Maduro to simply confirm his identity, who he was, Maduro responded in Spanish, saying in part, "I am, sir, Nicolas Maduro. I am president of the Republic of Venezuela, and I am kidnapped here since January 3rd. I was captured at my home in Caracas, Venezuela." And, witnesses say that he was pretty calm and expressionless throughout the trial, even at the end when someone yelled at him that he would pay for his crimes, to which he shouted back, "I am a president and prisoner of war." And Vimbai, we're watching this play out. I know you discussed it earlier on the show, and not to diminish it, but it almost feels like we're watching a movie, except this is real life, where a president was removed from his country and is now facing drugs and weapons charges.
Yes, absolutely. And I think there's a general global consensus that this isn't about drugs, nor is it about weapons. But to speak to the trial and to speak to some of the proceedings we saw yesterday and the conversations around it, yesterday a piece of information was also revealed that the BBC, there was a leaked email from the BBC to its journalists saying the word kidnapped or kidnap shouldn't be used with reference to this particular case. And now it's, snowballed into a bigger conversation about, well, is this a kidnap? Is it not a kidnapping? What do we call it? And I refer to that because, of course, he's using the term kidnapped himself. Having said that, there is the Westphalian sovereignty theory, which basically says that heads of states are off limits. And this is a concept that has endured for hundreds of years. And to see that being upended are several questions. And one of those major questions is, have we gotten into the era where might is now right? Because if you remember, all these multilateral institutions were created so that might wouldn't be right, so that the little man can have a chance against the big man, and the world wouldn't be dominated by the people who have nuclear warheads, who have military capacity, and so forth. So now we ask ourselves, okay, are we about to see a nuclear arms race? Are countries now going to run and equip themselves to prepare themselves for the fact that their leaders don't want to be at the mercy of somebody who feels that they're the policeman of the world? So there are those, and of course there are other issues that are also playing out within Venezuela, with the swearing in of the acting president, who's backed by Maduro's son, and Maduro's son saying, "Daddy, don't worry, your country is in good hands." But all of these unfortunately culminate and spill over into what we're seeing here in Nigeria with American involvement. And now people are asking, okay, how far will this involvement go? Where will America know its limits? Because currently we're cooperating. What happens if we wake up and we say, oh, no, Americans, we don't like this particular strategy? Do we have the sovereignty, the room to be able to say, oh no, America, this is where we draw the line with regards to insecurity in Nigeria? Or have we now gotten ourselves into this relationship that feels a lot like what's happening in River State, where somebody is going to come and claim Godfather over us and, drag our affairs according to their tastes and their likings, and then handpick a president and run our country for us until they feel that, oh, this is the suitable person for this country. So I think, with regards to it spilling over geopolitically and different countries reacting, I know ADC have put out a reaction saying that, the president is scared that this will happen to him. And so I think that in this moment, we shouldn't politic with such, sensitive in national matters. Nobody wants this violation of sovereignty to happen to any country. It should end with this Nicolas Maduro case. I hope he gets a fair trial, but it doesn't seem like he will.
Such good points. And now let's head back to Nigeria, where in Yobe State, officials are urgently calling for more safety measures for water transport after 29 people died in a boat accident on Saturday. The number, up from the original count of 25, was announced by the Executive Secretary of the state's Emergency Management System, Dr. Mohamed Goje, just yesterday. One video circulating on social media shows the community's anguish as bodies are literally pulled from the water. May all of their souls rest in peace. Now, this boat was carrying over 50 people, and initial reports say that overloading and structural defect were some of the major causes of the accident. And, you know, people online were pointing out the fact that life jackets were nowhere to be seen in that video. And water transport actually feels like it could be an opportunity for different parts of the country, but it really hasn't been harnessed, Dr. Abati.
Well, this happens all the time. Now it's in Unguru local government area in Yobe State. Some other time it was in Delta State. You know, again and again, people do not pay attention to safety requirements. If you are going to go on water, you don't say, I can swim. You know, you wear life jackets. That's a basic safety precaution. In addition to this, you were even saying that the boat in which these persons were traveling was in a poor state. You were also saying that the boat was overloaded, 50 persons. So, you know, in spite of everything that happens here in Nigeria, part of the problem is that our people, some of our people, don't let me say all of us, they tend to be suicidal. In those days, you know, at The Guardian, we used to write editorials every Harmattan season. I don't think we have Harmattan season anymore. It suddenly has disappeared now that it rains in January. We will write editorial. We want people living particularly in the Jos Plateau area that dress warmly. You know, every year, nobody will listen. Every year, people will die as a result of the harshness of the weather. So I think we just need to do a lot more in terms of public enlightenment for people to value their own lives. You know, I was at an event, Mr. Fola Adeola was saying, we are quick to say Nigeria happened to X or Y. But sometimes it is Nigerians that happen to themselves. Nigerians themselves are part of the problem. And so it's not always about government. So I just will commiserate with the people affected and their families, and then just repeat again that safety is important. It is as important with boat travel as it is with aviation. I close by referring to this controversy over kidnap or not kidnap, which, you know, Maduro himself said he was kidnapped. Maybe those who oppose the use of the word kidnap will be comfortable with extraordinary rendition. Extraordinary rendition. Wow. Does that sound better? Isn't that a better phrase?
I know where you are going to.
Okay.
All this one, we can't do our standards by BBC. BBC is sulking up to Trump 2.0 now because of a court case ahead of it. And you know why all of this is also happening, why that email leaked is because there are a lot of heavy right-wingers on the board of the BBC now that are leaking everything now. So BBC, as we speak today, is in crisis. So you can't use their standards to be judging other media standards.
Extraordinary rendition. Doesn't sound neat.
But where you are going to, the place you went
Where am I going? I'm sitting down here.
The place you went to hang that ball, it's not good.
Yes, let's move on. Let's now move on to Anambra State, where we have a new video trending online that shows a driver at a checkpoint said to be in Awka South local government area. Now, in this video, the driver explains that even after having all of his car documents in order, police officers demand that he presents a tinted glass permit. Keep in mind, the Nigeria Police Force put this tinted glass permit case on hold after a court order stopped the move, but the officers still demand that the driver pays 50,000 naira on the spot. Let's watch.
Ha gwuru okwu tinted permit. And to pay the tinted permit, they do it in this thing. Okay, no problems. It's they tell me 50,000. That how 50,000? Who tell you? You tell me 50,000, sir. Yes, you tell me 50,000. Man, sir, I didn't dare go.
You want to say again?
You tell me 50,000, but tomorrow I know get the money. You tell me 50,000, sir.
Me?
Yes, now.
I'll back your way home.
I
will not leave you. I just call you. Yes. I just call you. Tell the whole world. Let me hold you here. Look at this man. I'm not afraid of you or whoever that you are calling of. I'm not afraid.
Now, in a post on X, the Anambra State Police responded to this video with the public relations officer Tochukwu Ikenga saying, "I have carefully studied this video and I didn't see anywhere the officer demanded any money from you. But from a close observation, it shows that you're on a call while recording the officers before the exclamation that he is demanding 50,000. In a second post, the police also said, "Let us reiterate that our personnel, especially those on stop and search, are briefed on issues of tinted permits and cannot do otherwise. As of this video you shared, it is contrary to your claim." So that's the response from the Anambra State Police. I mean, Rufai, we've talked about this tinted glass permit story for a while now. We know it's on pause, but in that video, we saw what we saw.
No, so what does the Anambra State Police command spokesperson think we are fools in this country? So the man would just be saying tinted permit 50,000 if they didn't ask it from him. So he will just orchestrate the scene. And they will be going back and forth about 50,000. But if he thinks he's smart and we are fools, let's engage in this foolishness. Do you know that a court in Warri had first ruled that the tinted permit thing should be stopped? The police stopped it. Afterwards, they brought it back, trying to lie and ignore the fact that the court had talked about it before. When they brought it back, then the Nigerian Bar Association wrote about it. When they wrote about it, then another person took the case again to court. When the court now ruled again the second time, they now stopped it. So the Nigerian police are trying to play smart with us in the first place. It took another person going to court again, an MBA writing, before them to accept it. And because I follow the trajectory of the story. Anyway, the truth is, institutions of government must learn to respect authority. I mean, learn to respect the authority of the courts. But you see, what we have in this country is not a respect for the three arms of government. See, the kind of democracy we run, if Montesquieu was alive, Montesquieu will cry blood. Because the separation of powers Montesquieu talked about,
1774.
Nigeria is the total deviation of the ideology of Montesquieu. You will see in this same country where courts will talk about contempt for people heading the police or the FCT or thereabout. They will not even listen to the courts. So we live in a very funny land, and that's why the rule of law is created in this country. And if we don't do this, we can't build a strong country. So the man that thinks we are all fools, I've also given an empirical analysis. He can reply to this, that the first time they went to court and the police rested on the tinted ban, didn't after some months they come back to say that court order does not hold them, and they want to start again until another person went to court the second time.
Right. Such an interesting story. We've been following the tinted glass one for a while, and we will continue to do so. But quickly, before we take our milestone, let's head from Anambra to Enugu State, where a new video has caught the public's attention as it shows the state governor, Peter Mba, arriving at work on Monday, yesterday, for his first day back in 2026 at the government house. It was a grand welcome for the governor as he received a full red carpet treatment along with a welcome parade reception from the Enugu State Police. Let's take a look. What a reception. I mean, this video has captivated so many people online. On Monday, the governor also attended the New Year Workers' Mass that we saw in the last part of that clip at the Government House Chapel, where he called on civil servants to support his efforts to achieve the state's goals for internally generated revenue. Now, under milestones, where today, January 6, we are celebrating the 80th birthday of the former chairman of Zenith Bank and one of Nigeria's most renowned marketing and communications giants, Sir Steve Bamidele Omojafo. Now, Sir Omojafo was born in Lagos, but originally comes from Delta State. He graduated with a BA in Mass Communications from the University of Lagos and began his career in journalism, first working at the newsroom at the Daily Times. And for 3 years, he rose up the ranks, eventually becoming the publication's chief sub-editor. It was after that that he entered the world of advertising, joining the Lintas Advertising Agency, where he was sent to the UK for a training program. That inspired him to set up his own agency in Nigeria, which led to the creation of Rosabelle Advertising Limited and later STB McCann. His decades-long experience in the industry has been marked by innovative campaigns with brands like Coca-Cola and Nestle, as well as social marketing campaigns that have had lasting impact. What a career marked by so many accolades, including the National Award of the Officer of the Order of the Niger. He's also celebrating his 50th wedding anniversary with his wife, wishing Sir Steve Omojafo a very, very happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to him. And thank you all for your great analysis today. It's always a pleasure.